So this is where all the issues start.
Yes.
You see, according to EOCO, they received a petition.
Yes.
This is the petition. This is the. But between the time I can't let know from IMC, and the time they be no more.
They call 20 million.
Okay. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll get into the facts of the matter. So this is what they wrote to me.
Okay.
Then we showed up on Tuesday, April 28th.
April 28th.
We showed up.
Yes.
See, you're quiet. Me mendi obi. Me name lawyers. Cause you 5 minutes crowd. And I'm saying, media men call. Now, when they did me, they will call me. Every April 28th, no. Constantly, my lawyers will reach out. When do you expect us to come and say, oh, don't worry, when we need you, we'll call you. Constantly. Because we took their contact. Obi and frame that my friend said, I went the same day, I went there, because these are normal processes. I have always insisted that the fact that, you see, EOCO no here boni biaye. Remember, say, EOCO not in the baby.
Yes.
And executive secretary, the petition, he is enjoined to pursue the petition.
Yes.
And EOCO inviting you in itself is not.
Yes.
And you need to show up and cooperate with them, because some of these things, they are things that can easily be dealt with.
Yes.
When there are trails and documents to that effect. So any big deal.
Yes.
Until we went. Now between April and July 4th, Obianka henche Obiani yenka asembia ye. Iti ye train. Me to kwine eco program ewo London on the 4th of July. In fact, me kokra me dia me car airport, because I was just going and coming back the next Saturday. Iti be park me car airport. And I'm a I went on Sunday, so I arrived on, I arrived on Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, me back. Me do airport. Me do Ghana airport. Me fear brucha me back, me do Ghana airport. Me do immigration. You say, when you should be war. A Dembu Mount, Yanko. Me koya, you say, your name is on the stop list. On the stop. Before, so we be too quiet now, we are aware, so we didn't stop list. Send me too quiet. And Kamidin was stop list and some coming to me. Yeah. And I will be one say what should me now and I'll me to stop list. Sure. Stop list here. We hear pardon. What friend on back. We hear no baby into young so say be 1 year. Obedran not to stop list. Say in case any people we back say oh free Ghana. Mamu now we are made back Ghana there. I don't be stop list. And before say Obekono, there was no invitation. No, if there was an invitation, me say me call. Say me call back that. Sure. If there was an invitation, I would have gone. So in fact, when I got to the immigration, I was shocked. I was like, me dreaming. I was very worried, because I was like, what is this? One say, me movies are that stop place. Normally terrorists, so one say, like high treason for no. Sa one say normally movie commando movies. Russia for no we no. To stop list. Sure. So to see myself on stop list, I was very worried. I was like, why am I on a stop list? Like, what have I done? In any case, even if I've done something, you can find me. So I went to my phone to go and check, say, hey, beer. Now, sending me message in a main. Even though message in the I become a lawyer's work because they are in touch with them. No, let me be some lawyers. Did you receive any invitation from you? Almost they say, so why they put me on a stop list? What they Obi near them call immigration headquarters, and I'm FD few of them call EOCO headquarters Saturday night. The Saturday night I couldn't spend it for the atara me share me the bag and I'm share on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I feel me share me be PA Monday, and that's for me is the reason why we have it. Otherwise, there's no point that we even have this conversation. Because for me, and let me put it on record, there is nothing wrong in serving in public office. No. What is wrong with it? Absolutely nothing wrong. And EOCO has done nothing wrong if they receive a petition and they are going into it. But the problem, where I have a problem with EOCO, and they know, I've said it, I've asked them, so I can speak to it, is that you don't treat citizens like that. First of all, you and I know, say, what we've been discussing from the get-go. In fact, you have the benefit of all the full facts. So you know that the audit itself, the issue around me that I have to speak to is not even more than 5.2 million. I get that, but we'll come there and go into the... Yes. I'm about to say, EOCO say or investigating Miracles for 55 million. To the extent say Miracles accountant he started returning the loot. I was livid. I was sad. Obi, I was devastated. I said, what is this? Like, must it be like that? That is where I remembered 2025 in Common Executive Secretary in BDS. Yes, because Obi, but for the fact that you want to shut me up, why do you fabricate this and put on me when you know the facts are there? Senka facts in one committee as here. Only says me. Obi, if you are under investigation for one city, EOCO is enjoined by law to tell you. Yes. Yes. But you have told me, say you are investigating me for 50 pesos. Why then do you go and put it out and say you are investigating me for 1,500?
1,500.
That for me is where, in fact, throughout the entire EOCO process, I was never worried. For say nobody should, because a process. There's nothing wrong with going through the process. But my sadness was when I came out and I realized that there was a
statement that out.
It's a propaganda spin.
55
How?
million.
No organization nangasa mi ko no bi. Organization no some they handing over no touch.
Yes.
Organization nangasa na send a womb.
I think it was 33 million. But even before say you back to come and establish why you think say 55 million is spent, no, we have to go into the issues now.
Okay.
Auditors, no, a flag, you know. But before that, when you were picked up at the airport, no, there was that narrative, or at least maybe I read it on social media from where I was, where you access to lawyers. Is that what happened? Or lawyers had access to you?
Saturday, no. Sunday, no. I saw my lawyers on Monday afternoon.
And the reason was?
I don't know. Send me the more inside into me. I don't know. Even no more. Me my mom would say this is what has happened. Saturday, Sunday, no. It was Monday. And I mean, access. But I don't put it to be very honest with you and frank with you. I don't have any complaints about those things. Because they tell us because those are processes. Those things you go through them. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I've said it, I have absolutely no complaint or problem with the EOCO.
With going through the process.
No, I have a problem with that
the narrative
one
out
statement they released. But for that statement, we'll not even be having that conversation. For the purposes of emphasis and clarity, you read the EOCO's letters. Now you know what GAPT is in the audit report.
Yes.
Now you know what P&Y investment is in the audit report. And now you know what BIMABA is in the audit report. These are the three things that EOCO invited me to discuss with me on.
Based on the petition from
the Parent Executive Secretary. Obi, Yankani Nina Boom, 3.2 million for GAPT.
Yes.
588,000 for the P&Y investment.
Which has already been.
Student now has already been, but they make us and make a point.
Okay.
And then 5.2 million for GAPT. Okabumwa, 9 million and 5,000.
9 million and 5,000. Okay. These are the three issues flagged by the audit report.
And these are the three issues written to me by the Executive Secretary. Okay. And these are the three issues written to me by EOCO. And yet, miraculously, under some strange circumstances, EOCO, in even writing on the back of the invitation on the petition from IMCC, still inflated this 9 million to 20 million.
Almost about 20 million.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. Me, like I said, I don't have a problem. But if you say these are the three issues, then these three issues do not amount to 20 million. They amount to 9 million. For whatever reason why you did 20, you only know. But again, facts are facts. I don't know, you don't fight those things. And I feel me buy minimum a discussion. I've been cooperating. I was with you. Obi, I didn't even hear my
yes.
All the things that were happening on the street. Me who Monday 9:30 p.m. And I'm saying same for crowd bontia. They were protesting on my behalf. I didn't even know. It wasn't Monday, Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. And I'm Tuesday numre. And I'm in fact, a reanimu around. And you remember about 4 p.m. when they were transporting me to go and do a search in my house.
Yeah.
And I mean, who says I was shocked when I saw the people. Because I was even telling them, but how? How did people get to know about this? And I say, I'm on Crawford now. And I'm saying, no. The people that knew I was here have strict instructions to ensure that this doesn't happen. It's here moving in one. I mean, we say, a friend is saying, I'm on Crawford, it's all over social media. Before I realized that apparently David Tamaklu, who is very closely associated with the EOCO, is the one that made the first post about my detention at EOCO. Fast forward. Many EOCO for come if pictures of Muko take here. I want me fear midday when they showed it.
I know why I'm gonna take pictures.
EOCO, I was with them. All the pictures I know man for one I want to mean. They took and then you shared it. It's okay. It's okay. Nina and yeah issue. Obi politics yeah, me a politician. Me crown a minya NDC in the business you know, you're just doing politics. So all those things don't bother me. My real bother is the official statement. You see, people like David Tamaklo and Co. They are just doing their social media, doing their politics. It's an NDC guy doing his politics. It's okay. But for an organization like EOCO, you don't do that to your citizen. You don't do that to your citizen. Know me very well that this is what you are discussing with me in there.
Yes.
And then you put out there a different figure. In fact, I've asked them.
You've asked them about the 50.
Yes, I asked them.
Because, again, sitting here, maybe EOCO had written to you, said, on these 3 issues. But in the process, they may have identified other issues.
So I asked them. Okay.
Well, if there are any other issues, they have to let you know.
Yes. Okay. As far as you've been able to put it out there in a statement there, that means you've settled on some. Okay, can you please tell me, as I am sitting here, the 55 million offer they told me say almost 55 million will be
EOCO officers.
No? Yes, catch them say they didn't give any 55 million out to anybody. And they are right. You can't, because the fact of the matter is that in my engagement with them, there is no 55. In fact, there cannot be 55 million OB. Organization didn't have. Organization didn't have 55 million.
What if the EOCO officers now can deny this statement?
Well, they can deny. If they deny that, they should come bring the 55 million out.
Where they got the 55 million from?
Now we investigating 55 million. Won't mean can't me. It's a ban send out to me 55. So would deny a virtual bond here.
From the 3 issues they are investigating you on. No, can you
9 million and 5,000.
Even that.
I don't know 3.2 or gapti. It's gapti no more MD no or kwaji on ho. 558,000. Accountant. 5.2 million. Any conversation that EOCO is having with me in terms of procurement process. I know Krampono almost say consultant no ye adwuma or ye wadanfo. We have identified the consultants and they were down for. And see, that is what we are on now. It's okay. Some of the money in our processes. So beside your conversations. And see, that's why I keep saying, and no, it's nothing. And yeah, they are extra so you could say, yeah, investigation. Oh yeah, my consultant be contract consultants, no, were down for. And the audience now the man were down for conversations. Oh, maybe I'm down for, but I wasn't part of the selection process. Selection process was done by somebody else near the Obinasa Kroma and I've on your business.
Yes.
President in New York your business. President in New York cabinet Koje your friend is saying gold mining. So president to recuse no.
Yeah.
Now have you ever heard me speak against the president brother doing business? No. You know why? Because I keep insisting. I've said it everywhere. Say, Baumia be president. Ninuya Abraham Baumia. As we speak, or your businessman from President Kufuor time, or your businessman at Amel's time, or your businessman Mahama time, or your businessman Kufuor time. It is a Baumia be president. Abraham Baumia should not stop being a businessman. So he will still do business. That is why when you go to cabinet and go and take a gold concession for your because I want you to put it on record, say, if Ibrahim Mahama is doing business, which I have no problem with, then there is no way, say, Abraham Baumia cannot do business when Baumia is president. Because as we speak, Baumia is not president, but Abraham Baumia is doing business. Why should Abraham Baumia all of a sudden stop doing business? And that is why I always had issues with the NDC people who were always going after Gabi or Chedakon, Kandoforiata and all those. I said, stop what you are doing. Because the fact that Gabi's cousin or uncle is president doesn't all of a sudden stop him from doing anything in his life. It's where we have been since Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and said consultancy 5.2 million. Audit reports say, and guess I'm here international competitive bidding, and I mean use international competitive bidding. And I yoke you consultants and call you or your best friend. Your best friend, I want to shubum, when any business. Your come account to Mukre, once I send you scada, once I send this scada, into the year. It's okay. There's no problem with that. Consultancy,
the 5.2 million.
What is the label? Read the label.
In a way, Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, MMDC's Community Engagement 2022-2023. Okay, from IMCC.
Yes.
It is a reporter, Bima Bafone submit.
Yes. Inti ejuma ni nie, ena EOCO say, oh, ejuma na moye no, what the ma wadanfo. Ena wadanfo eye ejuma no.
Oh, okay.
So that is what we've been discussing for the past 3 days, 4 days at EOCO. You understand? Obi, on the back of this report, Cabinet established a Cabinet Subcommittee.
A report,
yes, a Cabinet Subcommittee to look at the needs, the priority projects are a war report timua a bind between a fan and 10 terms why. Near money been a coffee drip by.
From this report?
Yes, in a coffee drip in India, by because we realized that most of the needs for the assemblies were roads. Roads. So government decided that listen, we will not be able to asphalt or tar every road at the same time. Machines in at least any permanent presence in the district. There was a subcommittee set up by cabinet. Now the chief of staff and the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, were co-chair. Director of research at the presidency and the secretary. Me and I'm coordinator. There are other reports that came out of that from this. Itemizing ABA, I said this should be our short list of ABA 30. That 30 has been shortlisted. Then further shortlisted by the subcommittee to identify which ones government can get done within that space of time. And then identify agencies are bind it be wabon say be a clinic. Now committee na free health insurance say more project fund no. Monje na mo clinic we mo fanye. And all of that. So all those things have been done. But that is what the EOCO is discussing with me. Obi, how do you discuss 5.2 million consultancy work with me? And then you put a statement out saying we're investigating for 55 million. Now, we are sir. DM partner winning film.
Because you believe so much in story now, on a Ghana for a channel, you know. Do you feel, sir, you've been defamed?
Obi, I haven't only been defamed though. I have been maligned. I have been, to say, meraho. Menkandada. Manka yesa me roha na me wo. He obi to dem David Tamaklo. O try ya tro social media say me nya me ho ama maware miensa. Me no ka say me rekra wa packing the bags o.
No, say David Tamaklo no onye EOCO.
No. I'm just saying it is all emanating from the impact of some of these things. The impact of some of these things. Me fear ya one mountains am umako twitwa modeto. It means 2019 am if you me start if you no krana a friend is saying me kra me nyambe ye MCA nkakra be poso dan unim sine no usif utumi ye kakra na we flow na wo hyenwa ewuma na wa ye kakra ewuma na wa ye kakra kakra akutwa na da beto social media na odi mu fa na aban we se ye ka se ye kotwitwa nkrofo fie a omotiti mu a ne da beto abonti a ye betumi nya bebi atena
but amanfo hu dan na is it, don't you think that is something that was say obia ka say hey
and obi say obi na me kra me aspase metumi abobra won say me sase ye wo mountain say am say beto bi obi 2000 plot wo you see idea to abonti ebusuya sase na me dan na me ton 2000 plot nti say bia obi pass ase wo mountain say den home obi multiply 2000 plot by mpane say 20,000 kwan say they forget if I say me say ebusuya sase na me lidi aton into the ebusuya sase na me ton obi 20,000 kwan ba ko bia menya wo so a 20,000 times 2,000 is a 40 million obi nti 40 million they say me ye kra ba be see despite the AB wo e won cry wo una wenya osika na wo se wo be see wo de wo laboni ne cantonment laboni na wo kwakosi no me dan na me si no edan ni nyina mu kura no wo sika ne to asase pe wo cantonment wo no me dan na me si no wo me dan ni sika be to asase pe wo cantonment na wo so wo de ne be to asase wo cantonment ne wo si ni na me de no me si ni say compound house wo hwe it is a compound house wo na compound house here no na me si ni say compound house wo be possible
ebusuya asase so
no me to yes asase ne say busuya asase kura wo ni me busuya ade ba ko busuya asase wo ni say ye de cho kura tuaka
of course that's in
uni masase won sama won tiase
usi udan wo
me na me ka kire wo
if I see a dan or family now so
yes what one ya beje fi o mansem inte busuya asase say ye de cho kura tuaka na je ho krata na fansa esiso na be ye wo ne wo mbade ya so ajasie into bi we ade beto social media now de ye we esisa wo kura no bisa won say na de nti na bia wo no say wo pe bia no about you mountains one me once I seen bebre David Oba obi say obi hu lands ni bi da. Yes, when you come the lands are there. Me ton me one penny for area one beton say ni bi wo me ho e wo mountains wo into Oba me ton bi ama now so kakran wo de die den isi so. But this one that you are as a dana some ka den ha me ho na dan ye to abawie 2024 na NDC for ni pay akoye odi obi ata even do America what's his name generally you do obi ata me I order to social media no yes no be said dan en pass and en pass dan en pass esi abonten nti that's not my issue obi de ha me e won sam ni na 3 wives no some what 3 wives an kan me ya e ka magi atum but see me ni 3 wives ade atum su yi na just obi
no say no eno nipa na o kan ye no. It is within your right to institute civil action.
No, but they are all emanating from.
It flows from your consent.
Obi aye no pe o me no ka say ebusuafo ni ade nyina frɛ say na over 55 million na on come. What you say? So it's I think that they've done me a lot of disservice. That does not in any way take it away from the fact that we are discussing substantive issues, which I have always cooperated on those substantive issues. Endra Kramiko. So what I say, Andra, I was there. We are discussing substantive issues, serious issues that we are discussing. And I keep saying, some of these things, you go for too. From my successor now, no what personal vendetta be and I just say, a queen be so or no say me buy me in it, be a woman buy a permanent job. A Jumana, a Jumana, whom see a permanent, money a permanent. Then, and I'll say, Mimi, you ready. I never sacked him. It's not true. He was employed on IGF. Me more than me employed in the proper civil service. Obi, how does it become a misakeo? I can give you evidence for you to read. Sometimes I am in private engagement in conversation when in Kofonia I will share. But when I gave you this job, you were happy and said, God bless me.
Asempa FM.
That will be the land ministry there. No?
Yes, civil service there. No. Obefa was civil service letter. No? You were happy. And said, God bless me. So how do you say God bless me after you've come to pick your letter? And then you come and, why do you do this? Obi.
Yeah, but what he did not be standard procedures, at least when you take over an organization and you feel, say, what will be I want to say, now we institute your friend is saying an audit into how the place was run. Why should that be a problem?
Obi, you see, there's a difference between witch hunting. There's a difference between witch hunting.
Yes.
So there's a fine line between witch hunting and audit in good faith. Say audit in good faith, and I will not be having this confusion. What kind of audit reports? Okay, do you see the gaps? In one breath, the audit report tells you, say, we cited no document. Yeah. Then the same breath, the same audit report on the same subject, but they say, after reviewing documents, the same audit report. Report, I will say, you cited no documents. That same report will say, after reviewing documents for the same subject matter, I find that say is the issue. When who document, I'll review documents. There are a lot of issues I can raise in this audit report. But again, like I keep saying, I am needless. What is important is the substantive matter that I'm discussing with EOCO, which is the procurement processes and all of that of 5.2 million. Nothing more, nothing less. 55 million be any baby because organization ankasa me the report achrew am we organization ankasa me ko mukra sika me kokoto ye e ba ne say na organization na 33 million utumi we 55 million na say utumi san ye adwuma doesn't even make sense. Accountant here you were trying to use as a decoy to make it look like guilty by association. This accountant is not liable and not paying any 50. I've shown you all the documents. The accountant is paying 558,000 of something that he has owned up to. I don't know how the main no kaboom. It's unfair. Obi, see, I can say a democracy say ni ebe na. Ebe tit for tat sa. Ebi ade be me no. Obi for fraud tro. It may not be me, but sani pano ono tro to ho. Ono so be ye bi. Then where do we go from here? Like, why should you do that at all costs? At all costs, like I say, a queen bia so miracles yan kana nuntum. No be me to share to become nuntum mani. Wo sha me tie obi say me tie. Me to become nuntum wo gidi say me to become nuntum mani. Debi. Obi nti niam ndisi for camp to mo opposition me makakota. Niam mo di ye yen me no one na ba ha. Omo ba ha no mo keka nsem bebrebe obi your opposition and this for being tete. A friend is saying first class neighborhood in Ghana no mo ni kuro mo opposition. No opposition for credit to make that first class neighborhood. What is obi KBB? What is say ye
campaigning for a national officer position. My only question to you, Emre Ninti, Miracles Betna Haka say or no onye interested in national position. Why the U-turn?
Obi before I make a crown makai obi send a video be my black rasta. Obi mention on to the boss. Why? Me name ni pakwa or this anime man. But yes sir, you see black rasta, we are all citizens. So when you treat fellow citizens like this, you don't know when it will be your turn. And you would feel exactly what people feel. Me who video be or say Wednesday was a Thursday na man call and I may say Obi, it's not true. I was at EOCO on Wednesday. That was a day after my release. Me free hono. You know, say the next time I should come is Friday. Into me na almost sending me message. Say, I think it was the same Wednesday na almost sending me message. Say, member, a friend is saying, I say good evening, Dennis. This is no Bonidin from EOCO. Please, you have to report at the EOCO office tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you. And I'm saying good evening, I'm a Bonidin. As you mentioned Friday, I have scheduled an appointment with my doctor for tomorrow, and I'm not too sure when that will end. So if we can stick to Friday, or otherwise, I will finish in time, and I'll check if I can still come. Into me, we pay. And I'm saying, no, say sure. And I'm saying, very well. Do I have to come with my lawyers? And I say, yes, you can come with them. And I'm saying, okay. Into me, I think around 3 something. And I'm saying, doctor's appointment. And I'm a friend. And I'm saying, you want to remember? And I say, man, about 5 minutes, I'll be friend back. Me one of friend back those you are in the boss akasa. Now see your share time now. By the time I may do one cry na diasa. Into remember Friday. How does it become?
Johnny.
I mean, where did Black Rasta get this from? And now we see, the kind of journalism of Black Rasta. They say it with so much confidence and passion. So we see now, if it's a dog and no crap, but we try to complete. Then to try we try we okay. What that would be that? Why can't we have a democracy where people speak to issues? Obi me tem bia make say bia me can document about and only church me dey me party for. And that is one of the main reasons why I think I am the best fit for the communication director role for the MPP. Because at this crucial time, Obi. Inti I believe say baby wono. We are not dealing only with Kenal people. We are dealing with principalities and powers. And in dealing with principalities and powers, you need a communications director that understands the terrain, that can think into the head of your opponent. And that is me. Me dream sharing this for me permanently. And see, based on that, I'm able to devise strategies and systems. You be to me,
and that's why you now decided say you contest.
Yes.
Even after saying so.
Obi, I wasn't, but you see. So we are part of an organization. You have a responsibility, say at all point in time, obey your appraisal and identify what you can do. The Obey Media Abo organization. At this point in time, your party need here inspiration. Here leader with a com spacer, Obey to me drive your more charismatic enough, Obey to me drive the entire comms architecture to victory 2028. And I promise the party, I promise the party for no. Say me, we will build one of the most sophisticated comms architecture this country has ever seen. I can promise the party. We will build one of the most sophisticated party comms architecture on my way has seen. This responsibility is something that I would execute. Facts, fire, strategy. Facts, and say ye kase bia ye beke bia de nkran make obi here Ghanaian voter na very discerning. Gone are the days unam now ka dia open na koto abama me to now say open say Ghana voter to abama wa e say o man grounded evidence factor or the beto aba. That is what we are going to bring to the table. Okay. That is the kind of comms architecture here they on the table. Then most importantly, it's not enough to come just obetrasi and our factor no. The fire and the passion in you, passion is what will speak to the heart of the voter. And then the third one, strategy. In Crawford, I know Mudili Obi, and this is for you, Mudili. I'm free revolution route to background, and for these people, omo ye nipa oni omo daily a ese say wo ye ne trasa ese wo two boys na wo hye you must outwit them to be able to have your way. And that's where strategy comes to play. Me, my polling station youth organizer, my polling station chairman, my constituency deputy youth organizer, my constituency youth organizer, my municipal chief executive. Me, I was campaign manager for my constituency 2008, 2012, 2016. 2020 elections. MPP campaign election situation room on the D-Day. Me na me manage a coordinating situation room in 2020 elections. Okay. 2024 elections, me na me ye comms director for the party. I was at the forefront of the battle. I was there when we lost the elections in 2024. I was there when we lost the elections in 2012. I was there when we lost the elections in 2008. But I was there when we won in 2016. I was there when we won in 2020. I have seen losses. I have seen wins. I know where the gap is. Meaning baby a quine meaning baby a ye falter. Meaning baby a as I say a kind who boom near boy home than and that is the reason why I many option. As I say me step forward. Na me to me who see was say embra ye woman no. E bia menya ka maybe foforo. But party ne frɛ say minim dia menya. Misue hu na menya. Enchechira menya wo party ni mu no. This is the time I made to me dia boa. Neema Dr. Mahmoud Bamia abeye.
What I'll do ne say would arrange another interview this time on your decision to run for National Communications Director for your party. And bedase
before bedase yakono me catch me party polling station communications officers over 40,000 of them. Electoral area communications officers close to 8,000 of them. And our constituency communications officers you know say omo me meba. You ever build the process no. You ever build it from the ground up. We are going to build one of the most coordinated comms architecture nobody can face in this country, and we are going to do it together as a party.
Medase Dennis Miracles
see. Minim say we interview. Minim say eniama bi ba wa dwen mo senso say chire na obehwa. Ade a miracles abe ne no. Me wa futu de ma no. Oma we nye ni twato obekasa.
Okay.
And we here. Oh, you see. I say we buy any near my EOCO nhwehwemu a omo ye. Any idea in terms of details no. Pressure in here apart from statement on release your munkasa bio.
Yes.
And you don't underestimate an agency like that. You don't know what they have. You don't know nipa bimpo a politicians. Wakoke bibia fa ho tell bia nipa kra bia na obetra na accountant na wo investigating the day unim ne ono what kind of question statement unim ne waka je yoko men kan hwe.
Yes.
So ya de anu ahwe MD ayi na chi because aba ye na ya betra ka wuntumi asemi wa show shirt kama abetra he so obo man so obo tiare na ote am from a papa fa ho wo he obi abeka omo aye press conferences omo ebocho boy obi awie okonifie
obi ani nsa we mo
obi ani nsa omo obi e ba ye omo fa nkrofo kotena obi kura se remon acha ne achi na tum na ye release no so be video siri bi yeah high nkrofo politicians ne ma etibi ye bi ni obi sa se hwan ankasa no dem ntia baba so
remon acha
crazy so why eti you release it on 10 so eti omo okoni fie eti me the mesre he's a young man obi anu o wish bibi boni bi man no he is doing well for his party but no one so jitu mu no say accountability so there as so obu oje public office now one significantly and some kind narrative o my enia no what was we go MPP mpanifo edmasapa
aden
obi say na ma akuri mu kra me gidi say na follow.
Yes.
And some way di kan ti ye ne say ya che no kwan bi so ense say ya che no na ne lawyers kra nya kwan access to him obetra how kan asem
also first 2 days and then the lawyers nya access
no or say or no narrative be a bro buy or see immigration force say stop order and then or see or no ne lawyers kasai so be kaya or see or ne lawyers kasai say then on no count now mo hwehwe no the farm so na mantia na ne lawyers so mni mo at no point na mte so ka say because na wo be kire lawyers o feel say or is so moba say yes most matching but me person be lawyer e bansa na ibiase and deny no that me even be a chair no me can say me person be tie no power side because that would be a breach of the constitutional right article 14 no. But in the absence of that there sabe it doesn't lie with MPP ni biase or no beka because the constitution yenchi obi ene sa na no. And the constitution no imperative no and any obligation say you can inform MPP for nienti or match miracles. Until they don't owe any obligation to MPP as a party. A miracles and never say me am a lawyer. It even if we a lawyer said Justin could you now kasa at that point ni mo say na a lawyer for miracles. So and so that is again why are they be miracles in come what can in ya ma follow no pa. What can say you kwadwuma mo ye on 40?
Yes.
Or can consistently.
Yes.
Say eyo ma sedie eyo madwuma nti e wo so mo ye o madwuma. Wotie nkomo ni bi. Wotie social media post and someone crofo kan wo krom ha. Say the nti ni ache miracle. Me can asem bi say and I've said it so be a wetin baby bi and na miracles aye ma habemu. Unso say the problem pa your statement na EOCO release ye no. AMPP amanyoko ni mpelifo na ma sa pressure do say a day tin match no me ka baby said there is no legal obligation on EOCO so beba out abeka ne nti a wache your friend is saying because any right because somebody be okro full sense say pia bonten whether true or false he will have his day in court it means I would rather prefer say keep me NDC no enteneno because ebia wo tene no na enipa bi e hwe asem na etie no no so hu me in a certain light even before I have my day in court which is also not the best and then na miracles again pressure na e de ma EOCO omo nchire mu yenti o ma chire no obechire mu ne onu nsu nim because at this point it doesn't lie with miracles to say because then now catch and the fact that omo hu audit reporter do 50 million no does not preclude them say omo will be fufuro bi so anti yenim ne omo wo nti ano de enja ansa but nso omo de abeto abonten no you feel bad at it because only mo say e bia ye innocent but here we are yenchirem ne enti aya che no and now do the beto abonten miracles feels say no and say nko omo de statement but nti say
yeah, also they could have stated why they picked him without misleading the public.
Well, how is it misleading?
You are no free said the 55 million they put out.
And on the match, it doesn't lie with him. Beyond even the audit report. But you see,
yeah, but they sent him a letter. Say Omra, they were investigating him on these 3 issues.
But the 3
which
issues.
Which 3 issues in that letter? And the state say 20 million, about 20 million. It is his pain, and they say, why then do you put out a letter say we investigate for 55
he may say these things, but also are raising with them.
Of course.
So at that level, they may. But you see, the point here is that it your purchase and you a lawyer or purchase say 9 million is a 10 million young man. No, meba. Because you see, we are dealing with a crime. Maybe the NSA say maybe no. Me concentration but how I met me even a dime. But you see me tie no now from where I sit, my son who be being so a brinty. He should be very careful. He seems to in a subtle way defend the accountant. And he should be careful. Did I say caution statement that what drama EOCO say omu discover a new information that led to the information Intina, so you're very careful because the truth saying na nipa or no that sorry crown to be engineering. Inti and that's all be jinana sa ado nipa no tueska no na ade ntina ya kana saying wama would say what the neighbor from but don't say EOCO can be or say even the fact is what tueska does not absolve him from any further criminal and it's true you are a lawyer so and no nkyerese o tuenti anebia that's why I think my brother should be quiet. You see, deal with EOCO. Me, my dream, you may take it or leave it.
But if he is quiet, the 55 million which he thinks any no credit would
even also one CD cry and is that not it? One CD cry also no fast capia. What's a ninch some more watch it, and some no yen somewhere a chess of a baby. What I say? So a year almost for $1 billion and also. What must say? But call Naku you one oh. So that this thing because you see, okay, Nasai the full Robin Swaba. Non so have a cassette Nyasa net to say near try someone in the public space. Below, won't to me, it started this way. Onye Bonibia, Onye say we will come to it. And Ababi do say, but you see, Nyaman Kitingiti be okay. Misappropriation. It doesn't matter whether you give it to a public company or not. I mean, you should get it. Ubi. It doesn't matter. Say a public company, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't come in. Say Sikan was meant for this. That's all the kwaya the fufra. That is where the misappropriation comes in. And Chiremu say it was actually meant for what you did. But if you misapply the money, it doesn't matter whether you gave it to Jubilee House or Parliament. Catch them, everyone. It doesn't matter. So Becca says because it's a public company. It doesn't matter. So you see, I'm seriously, me and Crab, me are uncomfortable. Me are uncomfortable. Now me being say, my own chasso, own chasso, non dealing with them. I mean, I have spoken to him out there. It's not something I'm very comfortable with. Lawyer
Bernard Bedi Akubedu.